on now.
Oatmeal cookies. Thank you, Ann Howard, for these amazing oatmeal cookies.
And these are done by Ann Calvert.
They are, and they're
She-
delicious. I didn't eat them all.
Transferred from.
Good evening. So we've called to order, and I think there's a little bit on the agenda. Okay, come on in, Bob.
Bring Bob and lock the door.
Roll call.
Okay, roll call.
Richard Willing,
Here.
Smiley Burrows,
Present.
Jim Penny,
Present.
Rod Kendall,
Present.
Jim Dixon,
Present.
and Al Morrow.
Yep, here.
Okay, all present and accounted for.
Well, all right, excellent. Everybody's here. Good job. So, I guess we can,
I'm sorry. No, that's
yeah. Oh, okay, yes, so approval.
The minutes for the last meeting is a Zoom-only informational meeting, and I made a post yesterday, it's on Facebook and it's on the website, of a summary of what was discussed on the Zoom meeting. It was more or less a Smiley monologue. It was announcements pertaining to what had happened at the annual members meeting, covered some of the motions, and so forth. But there's a summary of it. There's no minutes per se, or no roll call of the meeting. It was 15 minutes in total, and it was put out on Zoom. So there is minutes of it. I call it not necessarily the minutes, but as close as you can get to minutes for a 15-minute informational meeting. So if you want to see that, it's up on Facebook and on the website.
All right, well, thanks everybody for coming.
We have to approve.
Okay, yes, I approve of that. Does anybody second? Okay.
Approval of minutes? Yes, no?
Yes.
This?
Yes, yes.
No. Yes. Al?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question.
It's approval of the minutes
Which ones?
for last month.
The informational.
The informational
Yeah, that's
meeting
fine.
was on Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep. Thank you.
So, I should I go ahead?
Yes, the president's report.
Okay, so, we have gotten a blessing going. We're moving forward with the road, project coming. It was a beautiful gathering, and thanks for everybody who was able to make it that morning. Checking in with Ikaika, he will be bringing his equipment very soon. I thought it was supposed to be last Thursday, but it should be coming soon to start breaking ground. The other thing of topic is we are gonna be sharing with the community the results of the first election, which the community wanted to know what the results were. So we are today sharing the results of the original 2026 fraudulent vote count with the revote count and the difference. And I'll just go in order. Patty Jones initially received 331 votes. The revote, she received 171 votes with 160 fewer votes compared to the first one. James Dixon received 368 votes. The recount, the second election, he received 210 votes with a difference of 158 fewer. Alan Morrow received 389 votes in the first election. The second election, he received 235 votes with 154 fewer votes. Rod Kendall received 356 votes. The second election, 246 votes, so there were 110 fewer votes. Mark Jaunillo received 311 votes. In the first election, in the second election, he received 201 votes. There was 110 fewer for Mark Jaunillo. Marianne Farrell, first election, received 140 votes. The second election received 114 votes with 26 votes fewer. Janice Tucker received 124 votes. The second election receiving 111 votes, 13 votes fewer. Richard Willing, in the first election, received 231 votes. The second election, he received 236 votes, which were 5 greater. John Segala received 218 votes. The second election, he received 222 votes, so four count difference, 4 vote difference. Okay. Smiley Burrows received I received 262 votes in the first election and 284 votes in the second, 22 votes greater. Jim Penny received 159 votes in the first election, 219 votes in the second election with 60 more votes total. So the first election was 2,889 votes in total. The second election was 2,249 votes total. There were 640 fewer votes in the second election total.
600. But read this footnote.
So for comparison, the 2025 total vote count was 1,641 after over 200 votes were rejected.
Yeah.
So the net effect was, in both elections, there were far greater turnout than the previous year.
Yes.
I'd like to say something about this. I saw this and I was really shocked by this, and but not completely shocked. For several months, board members have been certain board members have been taking a beating on and face lots of accusations thrown around that the seated board was manipulated the election. They did all these things so they could stay in power. And I thought, how does that work when the 5 people that got the most votes were not the people they were accusing of being, the masterminds behind this. Jim, you were technically the mastermind. You got that term. But I'm just amazed that the people that complained the loudest received all the fraudulent votes. It stands out to me as this is very telltale. It's just strange. It's strange all over that we suffered such abuse of manipulating the election. And when I look at the numbers from the first to the second, we're talking 4, 5 vote difference, 13 vote difference. And up here it's in the hundreds, 150, 150, 160, 110, 110. I don't think Mark Jaunillo had any idea that he was being set up to be a board member with this vote count. But I look at this and I see an effort to handpick a board, and I feel there's a complete manipulation of the first election. And I'm glad that we have these results because it makes me feel a lot better, because I know I had 0 to do with any vote manipulation or email fraud, and I stand behind it. And this is a good feeling to finally see where the fraudulent votes had gone, and that's really all I want to say about it.
What, if I may, let's cut to the chase. What does this mean as far as the investigation goes? Is there any impact on that? Where do we stand with that? Are we going to get to the
bottom of this? Is this evidence of fraud in and of itself?
The investigator.
No, I'm just, whoever,
I feel like the best we could do was done. We dug into the fraudulent emails, we tracked them, we found people whose votes were stolen, we confirmed that. They're real people, there might have been a dead person or two that voted, but we talked to the real ones, and we got, written statements from them, saying that their votes were stolen. So there was no manufacturing of fraud. We were presented with fraud, and we chose to investigate it. And I think that relying on county or federal assistance or even private assistance to get to it was frustrating at every level because.
so is it over, John? Is the investigation over?
I feel that we've got, personally, I don't speak for the board, I'm speaking for myself. I feel like a clarity here with these numbers. I feel that
So
there
Phil-
is clarity.
Bill, just a little clarity on the police side of it. The investigation's still going, but as you know, here in Hawaii, the process takes a little while. It goes through the police officer to collect evidence, then it goes to an investigator, and then it goes to the DA. So at this point, I'm waiting to hear from the DA on the charges and who
Is it on the DA's desk now?
I don't know. They won't really communicate much. They just said the DA will call as soon as they are ready to.
Do you have an expectation of when you'll learn anything?
So when I went into the police station in Hilo, they said that the time frame is typically 3 months with the police officer, 3 months with an investigator, and then it goes to the DA, and that can take another 3 months. So
Yeah, it goes slow.
We have. Are you the only one that's filed a police complaint?
there might be another one that we know of.
Mike?
I don't know if they went in and filed. I gave them all my information for my police report and said you can attach it to mine.
Has the board filed any kind of investigation with the police about this?
I filed one with the FBI.
Okay,
So-
and what's the status of that?
Try and get a phone call through the FBI to follow up on
So
something.
we have an investigating service out of Honolulu, and that's still there. And we've got
Yes,
an attorney,
yes.
a new attorney we hired at Tacoma, and she's working with that.
Okay, so
That's-
We're
that's
still
still there.
trying
That's still out
to
there.
get to the origin of who did this
So it's still going on?
Yeah, it's still
to
going
our
on.
community, because
Still
we
going on today.
feel that if we were to potentially be able to get the subpoenas for the accounts that were fraudulent, potentially there could be means to subpoena and get information that might give us a understanding of who exactly was involved. But whoever was exactly involved really knew a lot about how to make themselves untraceable, which is interesting in itself. And you know, so the police investigation is continuing. We're waiting to file a special proceeding, and having difficulty actually communicating with the lawyer, who's been hard to get a hold of.
So, but it's clear from these numbers who benefited.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Well,
so.
I mean, I would think everybody on this board, it would be great to hear from everybody on this board, if willing, to see how they feel about this. I was shocked. It didn't really shock me, because I knew that that was the situation that we were gonna uncover. I knew this was gonna kind of be, but it was alarming to actually finally get the two results together. And I do feel that there potentially was at least one person that completely knew nothing or was not involved, that they just needed to create a majority and use that person. And I don't know if that person's even aware, if anybody's spoken with Mark O'Neill about somebody using him in this situation.
Phil, if I could just kind of, as you said, cut to the quick on this.
Yes.
There's 2 or 3 things. One is, this is the board, and it's official, it's certified and received. By the time all of this gets finished, the legal process, as we've all learned over the last 2 or 3 years, will be in the next year. And there's a new election coming up in December.
Yeah.
So we as a board have met and tried to agree to move forward, not spend time looking backward. It's in the hands of the authorities. If in fact they find out, that might lead to exposing someone, but we're not gonna waste time worrying about that. We're here to do good for the community, so we're moving forward.
Okay, but the process is still going on.
Yes.
Slowly,
Thank you.
gruelingly, yes.
Okay.
One other thing, I just lost my train of thought, because I was gonna, well, we wanted, Rod, yes?
First off, I want to start out, Mr. Segala, your opening statements were mischaracterizations and defamatory to members of the board. I am insulted by your insinuations. You have no proof, or you provide proof.
Did I say your name, Ron?
You pointed to the list.
If you smelled it, count it, huh?
Rod, we're here to try and get along and present a unified position. If you have a complaint, you can register it, you can write, you didn't come to the executive session, but we all agree.
Your executive sessions are illegal. I will not attend them. Second, who was involved in contacting the membership? Say you contacted people, how many, and who was involved?
Are you talking about finding the people that had their votes stolen?
That you alleged had votes stolen? Yes.
Oh, they did, I spoke with them
Not
directly. I spoke with several individuals that I had never met before.
And who else
Yeah, we
called?
traced their information, found their numbers, they were difficult. Whoever was involved was really stealth. They knew, they tried to get away with it, whoever it was, Rod. And I'm not saying I can't pinpoint who did it, but I do see there's a huge amount of vote differences in certain ones where there's almost no difference in other members. So that makes me just have a red flag, or like, that looks like involvement with whoever did the fraud.
Who else was involved in contacting those members?
Janice got a
Janice,
bunch of
very,
letters.
very hard.
Email, I sent out letters.
We
I
worked
called
for
a
months
list of 44.
trying to figure this stuff out. Initially, we knew that there was a little bit of fraud. We had no idea how significant this
Just
person
passing
or
Did John
people-
make calls?
Yes, I made calls.
Yep, I made calls.
We were investigating, that's what we needed to do.
And
We-
Jim, did you make calls?
No, I wasn't involved at all.
So that's 3 out of 4 did better than before. I would have to ask them, when you talked to these people, did you ask who they voted for?
No,
No.
Not at all.
they
No,
didn't
said they didn't
vote.
vote.
They didn't
also
vote.
said
They
vote.
said they didn't vote. That's not my email. I have it on a voicemail. You can hear it right now. A woman with 6
So they were
lots,
pissed off when they voted. Somebody
widowed.
voted
She
their
got
lot.
her votes stolen, whether she wanted to use them or not. It wasn't for somebody else to steal. Patricia is her name. She lives on the East Coast. She called me back. I contacted her back. She wasn't too happy about the situation. It's real. I shared the voicemail with Al, but we had a really weird Zoom meeting that day, so it was just an awkward meeting as it gets. And he said, well, that could be anybody.
Yeah, that's-
Well, she also sent a paper with a signature saying her 6 lots and all of her votes had been stolen. I'm not gonna, we found her number, yep.
It's on the police's hands.
Do we know if those people voted the second time around?
It's not our business to
That's
ask.
up to them. They got an opportunity to vote. I have no idea if they voted, and I knew this second election was
Everyone got-
legitimate.
The
Everyone got
implication
laid.
is you
It was
contacted these people
legitimate.
and you.
We didn't pressure them about who to vote for in another election. They probably didn't, because they usually don't, is why these people
When we made those phone calls, we
were
didn't.
targeted.
When we made
Because
those
they're
phone
not
calls.
voters generally. Maybe some of them were pissed and decided, I'm gonna vote.
Smiley, when we made those phone calls, we didn't know we were gonna have a reelection.
Yeah, we didn't
We
even
had to
know,
make
we had
that
no idea what was
decision.
going on, we just knew that somebody had messed it all up,
Yeah.
and that we were paying for it, our community. Yeah.
I would think that anybody who took the time to do this investigation, that poured countless hours into the evenings, in the mornings, before work, after work, there'd be gratitude toward them for doing this, not insinuations that they tried to manipulate these people's votes or lie to them. That just reeks of, it just reeks, period, you know?
It is an insinuation, and I'm glad to make it.
Okay, let's move on.
Anybody else want to discuss this before we move on?
I have a question for
Totally
Rod
agree
now.
with Jim.
I had heard rumors about Rod now looking through previous ballots after you were voted out of the majority in 2025. Is this true or not?
Where would I get previous ballots?
From here, and you guys were in here. That's just what I heard. I'm not sure.
No,
Did
that's
you
not
catch all
accurate.
that? You heard what?
That you and Rod were looking at previous ballots in here, taken from the storage here after the 2020
They had all
2025
that.
election.
They orchestrated the.
No, I'm asking, Rich, I'm asking them.
So we do need to move forward.
Can you
If
answer the
guys have-
question?
If anybody else has any comments regarding what they
Okay.
think, whether it's their votes and difference.
Yeah, I'd like to move on. I
Yeah,
agree
it's
with
false.
Jim.
It's false?
I agree with Jim.
If I had a picture, would you change your answer?
Probably not.
Probably not, okay.
I could either.
Could I just make one more statement and move on before this? I think that it occurred to me that a productive way to be forward with this is I would raise my hand and volunteer for a polygraph test to answer any questions related to voter fraud
Yes.
or to manipulation.
Anybody that
I would-
is.
I would volunteer to do that, and I would.
That I will also take a polygraph test. It won't matter in court, but it could be something that we could incur as a fee for the subdivision. I'm more than happy to take a polygraph. I know I had nothing to do with this fraud, besides trying to catch the person that did it. Yeah.
It's a risk reward, and it costs probably too much money to do that, but let's go down to the table. Jim?
I'd just like to say that I agree that this is the board now, right? And we need to move forward, and we're not going to reconstitute the last board in any, we're not gonna reconstitute the board based on this. And to even have this discussion, honestly, I'm glad that this has happened, we've received the count vote, but this is divisive, and it is, and to claim that the 640 votes, that, you know, the people that didn't vote this time, that voted last time, are all fraudulent, is defamatory, it is preposterous, and it's not even.
Well, we know 500.
And it is divisive, and it's creating division within our community. And what we need to do on the board especially is to move on and not have these divisive, constantly bringing up the previous vote that people are very upset about, and then when no vote that plenty of people are pretty upset about too. That's why they didn't vote, in my opinion. And some of it is certainly fraudulent, but let's move on. This is the wrong thing for us to be
The
doing.
community asked for this information. The community is angry. The community wanted to know. This isn't board members against board members. It's the community demanding to know what happened where their rights to vote were stolen.
And saying that the 640 votes
Yes,
are
well,
all
it is.
fraudulent is defamatory.
511
That's
were fraudulent,
that's
so minus
verified.
the 511 verified, that's about another 130 votes that more people could have voted because of whatever circumstances.
Verified by the police. It wasn't verified by the police.
Is what verified by the
The
police.
511 votes were verified by the police, right?
No,
They
Okay,
got
so
it,
that's the problem.
yes, they were
And
given.
that's why we have to move on.
They were given.
That's why we have to verify.
Yeah, we need to move on. Al, do you have something to
All right,
add?
let's move.
No, I was.
Yeah, I'd like to-
Volunteer for polygraph.
You brought up the polygraph.
Oh, yeah, you wanted to bring up that.
So I want my chance to respond to that.
But I do think that you complained about us challenging your conclusions on that. Maybe we wouldn't have done that if you shared this information with us back when it appropriate. Then maybe when we saw the results, maybe we would have agreed with you, because it does look pretty interesting. Now I have time to go over that. So you're just now sharing it, it's
Well, you
June.
guys did see the results.
So,
Yes,
you
we
should
did.
act as, if you're gonna act like a board, and you want the board to act together, you need to trust the whole board.
At the annual members meeting, Patty Jones says, we know the results, we saw them. And when I asked her, how did that happen? I haven't even seen them. How did you? And then she shut her mouth, like she, like she just all of a sudden clammed up. So she stated that she already knew the results. And so.
Well, I didn't see it.
Okay, well, that's,
If you want unity in the board, treat all the board members the same.
what's that?
Just find solutions.
Could you repeat that? I didn't hear that.
Treat all the board members the same. Yes, we need to be
This
inclusive.
board was elected fairly and legitimately, and yes, we need to move forward. This has been something the community has asked for and demanded, and this is clarity. People can take it however they want. If we want to do a polygraph test, we can work on that and think about how I'll look into it and see if next month, if we need to further with that or the expense of it.
Okay, yes, sir.
Lie detector polygraph test is a misdirect, another community con by some board members. Before this board goes any further with the idea of requiring polygraph tests, the community needs to understand exactly what this proposal is. Polygraph demand is not an investigation, it's a copy trap, catch-22. A no-win setup where refusal is treated as guilt, compliance is treated as guilt, the outcome is predetermined. This is a tactic designed to manufacture suspicion, further divide the membership, not resolve evidence. Polygraphs have no legal standing, they are not admissible in court, and they are not reliable indicators of truth. Even law enforcement agencies treat them as tools for intimidation, not evidence. So the test itself has no value to this association, no value to the membership, and no value to any legitimate inquiry. What it does accomplish is something very different. It creates a false narrative where the officers can point to anyone who declines and say, see, they must be guilty. That is the entire purpose of this proposal, not to find wrongdoing, but to create the appearance of wrongdoing where none exists. A feeble attempt to misdirect from their failure to hold fair elections. This board has a responsibility to act within the government's documents, state law, and basic fairness. Weaponizing a polygraph is none of these things. It is a Barnum and Bailey coercive tactic meant to pressure directors into a corner and to sway the community with theatrics instead of facts. If there were real evidence of misconduct, it would be presented. Instead, we are being offered a show. A test with no evidentiary ruling or value, no procedural legitimacy, and no purpose except to create a narrative of guilt by refusal. I urge the community to recognize this for what it is, a distraction, a manipulation, a misuse of authority. We should not be entertaining proposals that violate due process, undermine trust, and turn our association into a spectacle. The membership should reject the polygraph idea, immediately return to proper procedure, transparency, and evidence-based governance. Responsibility for any purported election fraud lies solely with the illegal elections working group and their partner officers who created the opportunity for fraud. A legal elections committee would have not allowed such an unprofessional election. Thank you.
Okay, entered for the record. However, let me point out, just 1 minute, please. Comments are supposed to come at the end of the meeting. With regard to Rob's comments, just my response is, I haven't heard a motion. It's just, would anybody be willing to take a polygraph test? It's an idea, not a motion.
And we're
Unless
not
it's a
playing-
motion, if we didn't, it doesn't enter even into the minutes.
You're totally innocent. You're presenting to these people that certain people are guilty because they
No
don't want to
one-
do
no
it.
one said that.
That's your insinuation.
I want-
Very transparent.
We'll get there, we'll get there eventually.
Right, but I want the community to see my polygraph test, to see that I will pass it with flying colors.
We don't need,
But,
we don't need polygraph tests.
Right.
Let's move ahead.
Yeah.
We do have a couple of comments
Then
which
are
we'll
you taking
entertain.
them now, or do you wanna wait till after? What's the
Later.
rule?
comments at the end would be great. And one more thing, I wanted to move forward past this unless anybody wants to continue, but I just want to say we're working on meeting Al and I, Greg Armstrong, Ashley Kierkowitz, and Jeff Durham from planning are gonna have a Zoom meeting to discuss the Leilani Park grant on the 19th. So we'll be able to forward information on how that goes. That's it, yeah.
Okay, Jim. I don't have anything additional on the vice president's report. We've met, and in spite of Rod's allegation that you cannot have executive sessions, in point of fact, you can have executive sessions, you must give 10 days notice, and then you can have an executive session. Rod wants to point out you can only discuss certain things, but I'll let Rod have it.
If you just read the organizational documents, you have to give a 10-day notice of a special meeting, out of which, at the special meeting, you can go into executive session. You have to come out of executive session back into that special meeting. That's where you're falling down. The 7-day notice is the secretary giving notice by email to all the directors. That's law, I'm sorry. I'm done.
What law, our bylaws, or the law? And if so, which one?
I don't have that in front of me, but I can provide it.
Okay, next, we're down to the treasurer's report. That would be Mitch in this case.
Treasurer's report. Hold on, I gotta take a little bit. Our Bank of Hawaii checking account, we've got 117,000. Bank of Hawaii savings, we got 60 grand, so about 180. HFS checking, we got 4,500. HFS reserve, we got about 58,000. HFS reserve, we've got 30,000. Total 271 in the bank. Later, I'm gonna get the members to agree to put some of this into a road repair fund that we had years ago. We always had a road repair fund because the roads are gonna have to be fixed continually. So we got $271,000 that we don't, it's not ours. It's a carryover. Let's put $100,000 in a road repair fund and get that fund financed through monthly installments as soon as we get our budget figured out. So anyway, we got $271 sitting in the bank. Month of May, we had 12 properties sold. 10 were to new owners, 2 of them were to county buyouts. So 12 properties to get totally, so what, $2,400 in transfer fees. Letters of default will go out. We finally got that, a couple of Friedman and Janice, we finally got the letters of default going out June 15th. So we get those out there, let people know that yes, they are in arrears, and, some of them for years and years, and lists, it reads out very plainly that you've got 30 days to do something, and then we got 15 days to respond, and then we're gonna put a lien on your property. So those are going out on the June 15th. We've got some independent sales of properties where somebody sells it without using the real estate company. Maybe I sell it to you, where there's no record of the due taxes or due accepted by the line, and so we need to clean that up, and we're working on that to be able to get some money there, or write them off, whatever we gotta do. This past month, we had a few larger expenses. We had to replace the UV system in the longhouse here, the light, the filters, everything. So $410. I took the island catchment for the materials. Mike and I did that. The fiduciary that we had a bill of $534 to her. And then we finally replaced the panel in the playground that was completely rotted out. And we paid the electrician. We went around with Helco for 6 months on that, getting permits, and then they wanted engineered drawings, and we found anyway. So we got it replaced. We paid $650 to the electrical contractor that did that. So those are the three big ones for this past month. Cindy in the office never thought she'd be working full time, 5 days a week. She never wanted to work 5 days a week. So she's reminding us that we need to find somebody else to share that job with her. So put the word out, talk to your neighbors, anybody you think it would be good in this office that has some, it'd be nice if they had some accounting background.
They need to know how
secretarial
to use a
background.
computer for one.
Go ahead,
They need to know how to use a computer.
Right.
And it'd be great if they had just a little bit of knowledge or is teachable. And Cindy also said if they wanted to do the full-time, that she would step away.
She retired again, so anyway, so keep, talk to neighbors, anybody you might know, and
Before I
we need to
put
find
it
somebody.
out,
The audit, which we said we would get on, if we would do something within 60 days, commit to somebody, we are talking to people, we're talking to 3 companies already, and trying to get quotes from them on a general audit that'll cover 2022, 3, 24, 25, 3-year audit. And so anyway, we're on it, we'll see where that goes. That's all I
I've
got.
already received the checks from Bank of Hawaii, already got the 3 years of checks, and I'm waiting for the credit union. They won't send them encrypted, they have to pick it up. Somehow that's safer.
Do we have any other liabilities? What about our legal liabilities? Where does it stand with Oreo and Miyamoto and all that?
It's still outstanding, I think I'm gonna put it on the books next month. So
Yeah,
it's
wait,
staying
hold that
open.
later. Hold that.
We'll, at the end of the meeting, not at the end of the meeting, maybe after the officers' reports, we'll go to questions. We kind of let things kind of fly loose, but
That's all I got for the financial.
I have 2 things. You mentioned liens on properties. Who's gonna handle that? Are we doing internal like we used to, or are we going outside?
We do it here.
We're gonna do that.
Okay.
We do it here.
And the other thing is, in December, you said that there were gonna be, lava lot reimbursements. I know you did 21 of them just in time, for the voting. Where's phase 2? Where are those people gonna get their?
You say level one.
We didn't
Lava
do
lot
21 of them, there was
reimbursement.
like 9 of them that went out. Because looking at, we need a new lava lot committee, because looking at the property taxes, and they pay land is $100, but the structure of the property is still on, so people still living in that. Also, a lot of the people that are categorized as lava lot, the county is still charging $23,000 on the land. So a whole new assessment has to be done before anything else goes on.
So, when Richard was the president, he announced there'd be 2 phases. The first phase, it was enacted in time for those people to get their money before the vote. The second phase, people are not gonna get their money, is that what we're saying?
Not until we do another round of assessments, because some of the lots that are classified as lava lots, listen to me, that are classified as eruption lava lots are now not. I found 2 today, but one has a dot on the corner of it, but the house is still standing. And the county is still saying the property is $23,000 for the land and $180,000 for the building. So the county is not classifying it as a lava lot, but we have it classified as a lava lot. So we have to reassess it.
Yes. There were many of those properties, I think there were 71 of them, from $1,900 to $484,000 on the county records that did not pay dues. Whereas I have a lot that's worth $100 on the county records, and I'm required to pay $220 a year dues. You see the concern there?
No, that's why it has to be
You were on the list.
reevaluated, that's what I'm saying, it's not consistent. I mean, many of these people haven't paid since 2018 when they should have been paid. So that has to become a whole new assessment. It's still.
Rob, the lava
That's
lot
not-
committee is open
it's
to
a
everybody,
whole
so
nother-
you have a
Yeah.
vested interest.
Establish it.
Yeah.
Well, you were on the lava lot list.
And I-
Should not have gotten a bill this last year.
And I did not get a reimbursement for 2025.
So I'm gonna give everybody history on this.
Chris, can we just wait till the end for the public comment?
I'm just trying to explain that
You can explain everything you want, let's just finish with the officers' reports. Are you done, Richard?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, all right. I don't mean to cut you off, just trying to have some consistency in the imperfect world here. Secretary's report. The first part of my report is an enormous list of people I want to acknowledge that have put in time over the past 3 weeks doing things around the Longhouse and other areas of the park. So I want to thank all the volunteers who participated, at the park work event. Richard has done a tremendous amount of carpentry work on the longhouse, rebuilding the picnic tables, building a new shelter that's out by the baseball
I
diamond.
just want to give him a round of applause.
And Jan did some really nice paint work on the new dugout, or is that what we call it, a dugout or a dugout shelter. Pete contributed his time painting the picnic tables the other day. James Laughlin and Sarah Laughlin also participated in helping Rich with the carpentry work, and Marianne, of course, did the weeding and cleaning in the longhouse. I slept late and chose not to come in because it was raining, and they moved the picnic table so that I wasn't finished painting into the rain. I said, the hell with that. So I'm waiting for, and it hasn't stopped raining since, so I owe a second coat to the picnic tables. Also, Mark Amanito and Richard Anderson from Neighborhood Watch, they've been doing a lot of work at the back of the park. Recently, there's been a car back there that was abandoned with all the windows smashed out. They saw that it got tagged and dragged out to the road, so it would be taken by the county. A lot of times when people push a vehicle further in than the easement, the county won't take it, so it's kind of a widely known maneuver that if you want the car that's been thrown on your property gone, you have to put it on the county's easement of sorts. So that was done, it got taken away. I want to thank Jim Dixon for taking on the task of opening closing or opening the longhouse and
Opening.
the park.
I'm still confused at what I'm supposed to be doing that. When I talked to, okay, anyway, I thought I was supposed to do it on Saturday
I
and
rescind my
Sunday
thanks.
morning, but I don't know.
Marianne, help him.
Am I supposed to do it more often than that? I don't know.
We'll have.
Marianne will get with you.
Right, okay, we can
tutorial
talk
is
about
already
that later,
already-
but I'm just doing Saturday and
But it's
Sunday.
the willingness that we appreciate.
There's nothing to it, really.
Also, Mark.
Al was doing that? Al took over.
Al, that's right, Al, you're doing some locking up and closing up too?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays. So,
Thank you so much.
Okay.
just closure.
Also, I wanted to announce that Michael Pawanio and his entire family, including Mark, will be taking a vacation for 2 weeks. And I was wanting to round up people who would be willing to take care of things in an emergency situation. A lot of times what happens is sometimes a tree goes down and he'll go out and cut it up or whatever, shuffle it to the side of the road. Or even around the longhouse, every day there's fronds falling around the longhouse. There's fronds everywhere. And it'd just be nice if we had some volunteers. I would volunteer my time to do a walkthrough, every other day or something at the park. If I see fronds, drag them out to the pile, just to keep, so when he comes back, there's not 9,000 things for him to do. And then we have to field a system where if somebody calls the Cindy or leaves a message in the office that a tree has fallen or something's blocking the road, we can have somebody respond with the proper tools or trucks or whatnot. So,
How about the tractor?
okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Phil will drive the tractor.
They're gonna be gone the 30th of June. They're gone the end of June for 2 weeks.
So it'd be nice to have a little committee of sorts to the bond of fronds. Let's see what else here. I wanted to thank Michael also, because he was very helpful with the tractor. He was able to lift up those giant picnic tables. They're super heavy with that roof structure, and put them underneath the pavilion so we could get them fixed and painted. So also there's efforts are underway for volunteers who've come forward to work on the idea of coming up with a Facebook page that is directly linked to the Leilani website. So it would be a page of announcements. I don't want to say too much because it's not carved in stone. It's just at the phase now where ideas are being weighed and tossed about how to do something that would, people could look at for announcements, and there would be no hateful rhetoric and all of that stuff that we hate seeing when you're just trying to find out where the yard sale is, or somebody's dog's lost or something. It's just nice to, if we could have a page that caters to the Leilani residents. So in that same thought, I posted something that was spoken about on May 14th at an informational meeting that was given on Zoom. Smiley, it more or less was a one person giving a monologue basically about what had happened at the annual members meeting. But I'm just gonna go through some of the things that it'd be nice if we could either show up, participate, anything to help these things get done. Number one, re-energize the Lava Lot Committee. Two, establish and empower an actual architectural committee. Three, bring the election fraud investigation to a conclusion. Four, coordinate a general financial audit within 60 days and present the findings to the entire membership. Send out late assessment notices that alert all that liens are being filed. File liens against all properties that have an outstanding balance in excess of $1,000. Provide a quarterly newsletter. Plan for the closure of the temporary Malama Street access gate upon completion of Pohoiki Road. Establish a committee to implement the policy and procedurals manual that will address A, new hire policy, a dog leash enforcement, financial audit process and schedule, contract and expense rule if over 500, handling of complaint and document request forms, and office staff management and hours, salary and performance review policy for staff. These are all things that take enormous amounts of research, time, coordination, phone calls, and frankly, everything is left to the board to either convince, cajole, threaten, to get people to come forward. Some people are super productive and they're very helpful and they're knowledgeable and they follow through, and it's great. And I'm just asking that if you want to see these things done, we see the same problems in and out each month. Somebody got attacked by a dog. Somebody, the dog's crapping on my lawn. Dog's chasing my cat. Dog killed my cat. And all of these things happen, and we just need people to volunteer. This is a volunteer position, and it's just so time consuming. And it'd just be good if we could get more people just to do the most minuscule task. It's a huge help. There's already 2 or 3 of these things I read that are in progress, already happening, and that's enlightening. We got some really good information at the neighborhood watch meeting from a gal from, I think she was from the animal, what do they call it? The animal control. And she gave out some really good information on how to deal with the dog situation, whether it's attacking or just habitually loose in the streets causing havoc. So there's people out there putting out good information. It's just getting follow through, and it's hard. This is a community, and it just really takes a huge amount of effort. So that's it for my report. Thanks.
I've got a report from Michael O'Neill. Like I said, he's gonna be gone on the 30th, so he's scrambling to get all the mowing done. He's scrambling to get the sidewalk cutting before he takes off. So that part will be good. And so he gave me a list to say, okay, so what do you do? Look here around the pavilion. He clears the trash around the park field, the parking lot, and the playground. The garbage cans are often tipped over. The dogs have been, we bungeed them, we chained them, but the dogs get in there. So every day we have to check the garbage cans. We got to clean, dump them and haul them to the, at least put them out there. I've been trying to get a dumpster put out here, and that's still in the works. So we will at some point. We have to, so you don't have to haul it to the transfer station. He cleans the trash bins in the bathrooms. He checks the bathrooms to sure they got toilet paper, that sort of thing, every morning. He wipes down and sanitizes all the surfaces in the bathrooms. He cleans there are dog waste, I don't know how many there are, but on the walking path, there's 2 dog waste stations, and he empties those. And every other day, he drives the community and looks for the trees that are down and stuff, stuff that he has to get after. So all that needs to happen in the first 2 weeks of July when he's gone. Okay, so we just gotta, if you're out on the road, come by and make sure the garbage cans look good. If they're not very full, let's tie them up, bag them, get them in here. So he's scrambling to get the mowing done. He did, if you notice, he pressure washed every exercise station around the entire walk last week. He pressure washed the wall out here. He pressure washed the top of that wall that is green now. It wasn't green before, it was black. Anyway, Michael just been doing. He pressure washed the picnic tables so we could. So John and he wasn't to paint them, so he's just been doing a lot of work outside of what he normally does. But anyway, he'll be gone the 30th, 15th of next month. Sure, that's it. And he just wants to give everybody a huge shout out for the work and the work party that Mary Ann put together. We had a bunch of people show up here. So anyway, Michael was happy about that.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Michael.
Mary Ann, oh, okay. And thank you, I just want to say thank you, Rich. I've never seen such a big smile on Michael's face as when he got to put the picnic table where he wanted in the playground. He goes, look! Yeah. So, yeah, thank you. One of the things I appreciate about Rich, he's a go do it, and I complain, but you're gonna move, the back, the dugout? Well, he got his way and I got my way. We have new and improved thanks to Rich, and it looks great out here, so thank you very much for encouraging Michael.
We moved we cleaned up, repainted, moved that old, that bus stop used to be over there. And the county made us get rid of it because they put in the glass one. Well, they took it. Somebody in the Lonnie bitched and cried because it didn't meet ADA standards. So the county goes, well, what did you get out of here? And they did. They didn't talk to us about it. They pulled it out. So people sitting out there in the rain with a little bench they put there. Anyway, so we just took it upon ourselves to move the old one back over there. But the minute I did it, while we're doing it, the dog walkers out here every morning, there's half a dozen of them out there, they take shelter in there when it's raining. So they're screaming and yelling because we took their shelter. So anyway, we made a new shelter for them.
Thank you. No, it's really great. So anyway, my proposal to the board moving forward is this disc golf thing that randomly, when I was here pulling the weeds, I don't know, 6 months ago, ran into a guy throwing a frisbee. Conversation came up. Things about disc golf I had no clue about. I thought it was frisbee, but so this man actually did the research, brought me this information, copied Michael. I think there's one in the office as well. Drew up this plan here for a possible course. Long story short, so he's already done a lot of the homework. I went to Lava Lakes up in Mountain View. They have a nice 18-hole course there. And then he also told me there was one in Nanavali. It's a smaller space, cheaper equipment. Long story short, a whole different ball of wax. So I'm just going to read real briefly here. He said disc golf, has grown dramatically in recent years, 9-hole, 18-hole courses. There are currently disc golf courses on the Big Island in Eden Rock, Mountain View, Captain Cook, Hawi, Kona, Honolulu, Naalehu, and Nanawali. Leilani Estates has a large and well-maintained park, not kidding, that can offer a strong possible location for the course that can coexist with current use. I just want to acknowledge Patty Jones too, talking about dog park, that's been brought up to me too. I'd like to ask the board at some point in time if they could find out exactly the liability for if we did do an enclosed dog park, because I think Al's the one that said that was prohibitive, liability insurance-wise to do the dog enclosed park. So I just want to acknowledge that's still something that, many people talk about. So the baskets for the disc golf are expensive, but the quality is worth it versus the ones, if you go to Montevalli and see theirs, they're about $125 a piece. Those in this climate will not last 5 years. The ones that they have up in Mountain View are powder coated steel, I don't know what it's called, fancy schmancy, and they're about, when I looked it up, they're about 300 a piece. Shipping's always the biggest expense. So, you can all look at this if you want at the end, but, my goal would be to ask for 6 baskets is ideal. Even if we did 3 and tried to get them installed, have Michael install them and see if we have any issue with vandalism. That's my concern. I don't think so, but I would rather see 3. If we get 6, that could turn into an 18-hole course. You reuse the baskets and rework the course. We have a neighbor here that came and met me, and we walked the track, and he pointed out different course that we could do, and I just really think like pickleball is an up-and-coming sport that I think is really encouraging for young and old alike in our community.
Has anybody in this room ever played disc golf? So,
All the way back to the
it's not frisbee, right?
Played it for 50 years.
It's not frisbee, right?
I think
No.
it's a good idea.
I do too.
I'm surprised.
Can we make a
I couldn't even
motion?
ask this.
So would you support this?
Let's make a motion,
I would-
Barbara. I say aye.
We can make the baskets
So,
ourselves.
can I,
Could also.
what would the motion be, like, do we, like
This one is
well, that's just like a couple, the same people?
I would say if we did 3 and say with shipping, that's $1,500.
So 50.
Yeah.
Ron, talk about it?
Yeah, please.
That's where the items included in the resolution. I think I had $3,000 in there for that. I'll forward all that information to you within the next
Yeah.
48 hours.
Well, like I say, I can show you this too. This is my copy.
Yeah, I've already talked to Arjon, I've already.
Oh, okay,
been
okay,
there.
yeah. No, Arjon, I would love for him to work directly with whomever and Michael and location and anyway, so thank you very much, because I do think it's a great
So-
thing for our.
So we're saying we wait for the neighborhood watch grant?
I'm saying I'll get all the information that I have to Mary Ann.
Yeah.
And just because we're working on 3 safety projects, doesn't mean we can't generate and work on some of the other projects.
Great.
And have the,
Yeah.
quotes on hand to present to the county.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's wait till after the meeting on the 19th, we'll know more then. Okay. Grant meeting, okay. Thank you.
So we should have a report next month back to Mary Ann.
I will have all the information I have for her within 48 hours.
And then we can make a motion and you're gonna investigate whether you can build it.
Yeah, we can make it that, yeah.
And you can, whatever you build would be that.
We have all the information.
You can. Just give
Is it, I think that's maybe it's something we could make an announcement on Facebook, like a poll, to see how many people would be interested in, trying out a abbreviated course, 2 or 3, whatever, and see if, before making a larger investment.
We have a group here already.
Huh?
We got 8 people in this room.
Well, I mean, just put it out there in the community, see what comes back,
Rod?
As someone who's played before, it's very difficult to have any number of people play with 3 baskets over.
Yeah, so good to have 6.
I mean, you've got basically 6 different tees going to the same hole in the green. Think about that.
So what are you saying?
If you're gonna do it, at least do 6.
Yeah.
At least what?
At least do 6, you're not gonna do 9.
I say 6, you can make an 18
Who
hole
invited
like
him?
that.
How many typically are at a full course?
1 tee,
9 to
1
18.
hole. So depending if it's a 9-hole course or an 18-hole
So
course.
9 or 18?
Yeah.
or not.
9 or 18.
Rod has one more thing to share.
It's like golf.
He laid out 9.
Rod.
Arjan was willing to bring 2 of his baskets down to one of our events. The last event was towards dark time. The next event is July 4th, during the day, during the daytime. Do you want to contact him, or you want me to contact him?
Well, I also have a practice basket in the pickleball.
Oh, was that thing
That's
in
what
the
it
chains
is.
hanging off it? Oh,
Yeah,
geez, okay.
yeah, that's
Was
a
that
practice
from-
one. It's a small cheap one,
Could
it's
make
mine.
that.
Okay,
Make that.
so I'll get ahold of Arjan and she can say that.
Super, thank you.
We're gonna discuss, Janice is gonna discuss the accounting. We already did that.
Enough
Do you
information
want
on
her?
upcoming audit?
Oh, the
We
audit.
are, I've contacted 3 mainland auditors. 2 of them just basically do nonprofit HOAs. They do some, companies that deal with, federal contracts. It's looking a hell of a lot cheaper. They can do the 3 years for $25,000 total instead of $25,000 a year. They're all going to send in proposals. I'm gonna have a phone call with one tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have something to send out to the board mid next week. I'm hoping to get 4.
Great.
I called Midnight Oil here, and they haven't called me back, so I
3
started
years.
looking up.
2023,
Just
2025.
to, since we're on financials, how are we doing with financial statements?
$271,000.
No, I don't wanna know how much. Do we have financial statements with general accounting principles?
Yeah, everything was posted on the website.
Okay,
Yes.
that's just what I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They're
So
all
month to month
online.
and we've done,
Yeah,
okay,
that's all
okay.
fine.
I wasn't gonna look until I got affirmative, otherwise
Yes.
I'd throw something.
You'll always have them for the meeting.
Jim.
My question is, for us and the membership, as far as I recall, we, or maybe the previous board, already approved the audit and the funding. And so based upon whatever you submit and or whomsoever else has it, the board can go ahead and act without waiting until the next board meeting
Yeah.
to begin the audit.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So we determine who. Any more new business?
That's it for new business. We did acknowledge volunteers. Yeah, so we go to open forum, I guess.
Yes.
Just a comment, if you want me to do it louder, can I just say it loudly? We go back and forth on the lava lots over and over and over again every year. I just want to remind you that the bylaws are very explicit. There is no provision in the bylaws for treating the lava lots any differently than any other lot in here. And if we rewrite the bylaws, we ought to be billing the county $70,000 a year for the lava lots that they owe. They owe us $220 a lot, and if we're not billing them, that's a ton of money we're leaving on the table. There is no basis other than the inequitable application of fees to do refunds last year. But because there was an inequitable application of fees, there was a decision made to make some refunds. But right now, everybody who owns a lot in this thing owes $220. It's very explicit. We have to have a budget, we divide it by the number of lots, and that's what everybody owes. Now, the alternative method is to do it based on square foot or linear footage on a road, right? Which means corner lots will double in terms of what they get charged, and people who don't have a road won't get charged anything. That's a change you would have to vote on and make the case to the membership. But, you know, all this stuff I hear about, well, did I get billed, did I not get billed? There is no choice. Every lot in the community gets billed, period. That's the way the bylaws are.
Should be, because I don't think this year we build the lot lots again.
You can't,
Or the
because
buyout.
that's gonna inflate receivables, that is an unrealistic number. So you can't build a budget on money you know you're not getting back.
I understand what you're saying. That's why we need to change the bylaws, and
Yeah,
we need to put
absolutely.
policies in place
So we
around
can't change the
that.
bylaws
But we've
until we
been-
figure out exactly what the
We've been
law is.
screwing with it for a year now.
Yes.
And we haven't gotten anywhere.
There was three criteria.
So,
Doesn't have-
what-
yeah, This is the what I was gonna talk about, why Rod's included on, on his Malama lot and on his little cuckoo lot. He shouldn't be getting charged, so whatever, if you guys are trying to bill him, he fits the criteria. I'm just using it as an example.
He didn't
The
get billed for his
example,
lava lots this
what's
year.
that?
He didn't get billed for his
Okay,
lava
so
lots.
as long as he's not getting billed for those, because what happened was when they made the list, Jay Turk put him in the regular paid list because they didn't like him, okay? And his Malama lot was getting charged, even though the county reduced the taxes down to $100, value, and he had lava on the lot, okay? So, he wasn't getting treated right, okay? I'm just speaking, you know exactly what it was.
Yep.
But then, all of a sudden, I started getting bills for stuff that fit that same criteria, okay? Or actually, behind a barricade, no road access. So, I don't know how that happened, but I'm not gonna get into that. But meanwhile, other people that have road frontage, asphalt, are not getting charged, okay? So,
That's what we're
that was,
finding.
we already did this. Smiley, Jim, myself, Stacy Welsh. Some people are upset that she's not getting charged dues, but she's got lava on her property and she's got, the assessment is $100, okay?
Right,
That
but
would
what
get
I've
that.
been finding.
But the thing is why we keep going back and forth on this is people don't like certain people and they start going and trying to change the rules that's already been established. I don't like that person and I don't like the fact that they're not getting paid, so we're gonna change this year. So we
I'm
keep.
going by the county record.
The county's screwed up.
Well, I looked and they don't have lava on their property, but they're listed as a lava
Then
lot.
you've got houses on Nohea Street that are not, you got some houses that aren't being taxed and some that aren't. Some lots that have the same amount of lava, one, like literally next door to each
So
other.
it shouldn't be that way.
But that's not that's the county mistake, okay?
Again, until we change our bylaws, it doesn't matter whether the county's taxing you or not. There is no basis, on the basis of county taxes, to exclude somebody.
Are you ready to make roads? Are you
That
ready to
was,
make
that was
roads?
what I was
Has
just
nothing to do
gonna
with
say,
it.
was we need,
That's why we have to
we
change
needed
the
a
bylaws.
survey.
100% over
Okay.
changing the bylaws.
Okay.
it's a difficult situation still because the homes are not getting the benefits in the
You
lava
made the
lots.
list.
Right, we made a list, we determined there's several people that were challenged by all of this because they don't have access, they don't have the amenities, the asphalted road that the bylaws demand. So, we know we have a problem, so what we need to do is figure out, and yes, how can we bill the county for their buyout properties and not bill the residents? But we were going to do a survey, right? We decided that we would try to do a survey and send it out to everybody to find out the differences. I know we had several different questions,
We need to get that going again. We need to get that
yeah,
going again.
yeah.
Somebody mentioned that it's pro rata per lot, it's all like, and there's two ways of looking at this, that it's all divided equally amongst all the lots that exist.
What it
Or
says,
you
that's what
can,
the bylaws
that's
say.
what, well, but the definition of pro rata is prorated, okay? So if you've got X amount, prorated.
Per lot.
Well, that's prorated, but it's also according to the different categories you can put it in. So if somebody doesn't have road access, that according to,
Yes.
it's not, you can't compare it to somebody that
The
doesn't.
bylaws say nothing about road access.
Yeah.
If you own a lot in Leilani, the bylaws.
Then they're
are
being
very clear.
treated differently.
Pardon me?
They're being treated differently.
And that's wrong.
Yes, so that's why they make
They've got
us
to rewrite the
Well,
bylaws.
then do it.
That's what needs to be done. Well, it's the
Agree
same,
on what they should be written at.
it's the same issue when we talk about our parks.
Do we want to,
The bylaws
do
that
we want
charge
to
the-
restore the lava lot committee that we've already formed
That's-
and invite
that's
other
fine.
people to join us? I'm willing to work back into it, but I do think we need a survey to say, hey, we might want to charge you guys dues because that's the bylaw, but with that money, we're
We're
trying to
gonna charge
determine.
everybody special assessments, because people get this idea in their head that the roads are gonna be paid for by the lava lot people and only them. These folks are gonna have to help pay for those roads. Are people willing to go through all of that just to make a road to somebody that doesn't live there on the property?
So we gotta determine
And has
who
no
wants to
intentions of
live
ever
there.
coming back.
Who
You've got how
wants to
many,
move back?
and here's the thing, the lots the county didn't buy
Okay.
are owned by trusts, okay? They don't even know they own the properties. So you
Okay.
guys are chomping at the bit to make roads to land in front of, you know, and
I have a
Move on.
question.
it's a lost cause.
Move on, let's.
Okay.
We need one.
Anybody, okay.
It's just, I had, someone come in the other day to pay their dues, and he has a consolidated lot, it's one weird corner, but it's not 2 acres, it's only 1.6 acres. Should we be, have to pay the full 220 per
Two
lot?
lots, but one's not an acre.
They're consolidated, but it's only 1.6 acres.
How's that happen?
So I,
Does he have two
it's a weird
TMKs?
thing down on.
Two TMKs?
Two
Two
TMKs?
TMKs?
Sorry?
Two TMKs?
Well, it's consolidated, it's one TMK. But we, in it consolidated with one TMK, we charge for 2 lots. And he was just like, you know, I've always paid it, but it's not a full 2 acres. Right, so there's a couple of them we have in here. Rob, you have an answer?
Forgot the president.
It's two lots. Consolidated. We don't share.
No, you should be.
Can we have Rod mention something? Let's see what Rod
It's not.
has to say.
Two things, a lot is a lot regardless of size, if you want to narrow it down, because they have a little less. There are an awful lot of lots in here with 1.3 acres, so then you'd say they have to pay more.
Yeah.
A lot is a lot, Jim's correct, Phil is correct, a lot is a lot. I believe when you change the bylaws, you eliminated the pro rata, which is not a problem because we hadn't gone by that. Look again.
Didn't touch the assessments. That's not been changed.
I'll have to double check that, but I don't like to do the road frontage because my buddy here, Jim's got about 800 feet. Most of us have 100 feet. So that would be a discrepancy that I don't think would be allowed.
Two lots.
Okay.
It seems to me the issue here is that the bylaws are as written, and we have to follow them as written.
Unless we
We
change.
can't pick and choose which ones we like and which ones we don't like, and which ones we want to manipulate, and which ones we don't. It's the same issue with our park. Our park is private. It is not a public park. Our roads are private. There is no way for the public to legally come in here and use our park. And to have these meetings with Ashley Kirkowitz and all these people, it's a slap in the face to our bylaws. Our bylaws will not allow that. And that's just the reality of it. Now, we want to change the bylaws, as Jim has done so skillfully, it can be done, we did it. But the board has to decide. Are we gonna follow the bylaws or not follow the bylaws, or are we gonna change the bylaws, what are we gonna do?
I thought we took a vote at the annual meeting, that Rod brought up, that the board needs to follow all state laws and bylaws.
Yes.
Amen, we're done.
One last comment.
Unanimously
In
passed.
2020, 6 members of the board voted to segregate and not pay on the gravel lots. 1 member, Phil Denny, voted that those lots had to pay because it's according to the bylaws. Thank you for standing up for what's right.
It's black and white, right?
But
It's
we
black and
can
white.
charge everybody, but we might need to give them an incentive to wanna pay like a road. Maybe their dues can be put into a road fund for the lava inundated lots. And that's where a survey, find out who wants to come back. Because it would be worth it to charge everybody, given that they had something to benefit from their dues for their properties and recovering. And it would also kind of force the county to have to also be responsible. Hey, we make everybody pay dues. We might not actually get them to pay the dues, but maybe there will be a group of people invested in wanting to come back restore a road to level out and build.
Whether they pay or not is not the issue. The issue is what the bylaws say.
Yes.
And all lots have to be treated equally.
been 9
The
years.
assessments have to be done pro rata. That's what it says.
Okay, Caroline.
We're gonna cover the law.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the first like 40 minutes or so was spent on going over the votes and everything. There's obviously discrepancies, something happened. So to prevent that from happening again, has the board already determined a mechanism for next year? Will electronic voting take place? If not, I suggest, again, maybe creating an election committee, because if this is something that's going to be done annually or what have you, to have some consistency and have a review of that, so that way we prevent this from happening again. So I don't know, if you're looking to create committees, that would be a good one to promote. The other one is something that we just talked about that's consistently, everybody interprets it a certain way, is having a bylaw committee, a running bylaw committee that reviews things, makes sure they're up to par, up to date, and they reflect, what the community envisions, I guess, for Leilani. So having like a standing bylaw committee. Having a grants committee. If we're going to be going after grants, making sure you have somebody, a group already established that seeks them, that writes them, and then seeking outside groups to administer them that are not in conflict with those that are participating. Lava Lot Committee, I think definitely having that as an issue here. We should have a consistent Lava Lot Committee to review these things. A recreational committee, we talked about the Frisbee thing or what have you. I see a lot of people playing pickleball. So if we're not a public park, which it looks like we kind of are, adding more amenities such as, what was proposed tonight is going to bring more people. So I think that you have to take the poll of the people of the community and see the pros and cons, right? What's going to happen, and have scenarios and stuff. So I think like a recreational committee would be beneficial to Leilani. The other thing I would suggest is that we have a co-meeting where you invite the neighborhood watch group and have a meeting together. So everybody gets on the same page. If there's not this divisiveness or what have you, they're going for grants, but they want to administer them, yet it's pertaining to property that we own as a community. So it makes sense for you guys to both work with them. So I encourage you to reach out the Olive Branch and try to have a meeting so that way everybody's on the same page together. Because again, the only ones that really suffer are the community, because it's like back and forth, back and forth. We're the ones that suffer when there's disagreements amongst your groups. The other thing, I'm almost at my 3 minutes, right? I think that you should make a motion whether to do the polygraph or not do the polygraph. Personally, I don't think it's gonna help. I just think it's gonna hurt our community further and divide them more. It's like, we're all tired of it, let's just move on. If you wanna do it on your own, do it on your own bucks, but I think make a motion and be done with that. And then I think that it would be important because there's so many great things that everybody's throwing on the table, but maybe, I think I've talked about this before, having a strategic plan meeting. Where do we envision Leilani 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What's the vision? And having like charrettes and stuff and meetings here under the pavilion where everybody comes together and talks about what their vision is for the community, how we're going to use it, who are we going to invite, who are we going to allow. I think it's time that we, maybe develop some type of a plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one. Just one question. When you talk about getting the grants, you have to have a 501c3 sponsor. Spent quite a bit of time in 2022 trying to get the LCA to be a C3 and a C4, and the stopping point was no audit. We need, I think it was 5 years. I'd have to go look at it. Maybe it was 3. But if we have that, then we could add on to C3, then we can do our grants, and we get that 10%. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Are we available like that?
Yeah.
This is from the office of Matt Einfelder. Through legislation I passed this year, a 250 maximum Hawaii County real property tax credit will be provided to members of the homeowner tax class upon submission of a homeowners community association report providing details of partial owner and dues paid. Important to note, the HOA will need to submit this documentation to the county for homeowners to receive the credit. And what this entails is properties that have road maintenance dues, some associations include this in their homeowner association dues, which are $75 or more per year, non-gated subdivisions, and have a homeowner's exemption. Your homeowner or road maintenance association or nonprofit that handles the road maintenance will submit the required documentation to the real property tax office by September 30th of each year. The credit will then reflect on the following tax year. What needs to be submitted is a spreadsheet, Excel preferred, of all TMK members, property owner names, and amount paid by September 30th of each year. Real property tax office will then review if there's a homeowner exemption on January 1st of the following year, and where it's supposed to be emailed to. The maximum credit is $250. The amount that depends on how much your road maintenance dues are. For example, if you pay $125 in road maintenance per year, your credit the following year will be $125. The credit cannot decrease your taxes below the minimum tax of $200 per year. Credits do not carry over from year to year, so this listing has to be sent in on a yearly basis to them. And the associations that submit documentation will receive confirmation from the tax office. And in looking over this, it could vary. I mean, the most we could get would be 220 because that's what we pay per acre or per lot. Sagala, $303, Willings, $221, Dixon, $220, Tucker, $261, Morrow, $220, Burroughs, $220. That's how much it's gonna save all of you. Penny, myself, a lot of us only pay $200 in taxes, and so it cannot drop below $200. That's the bottom limit for that.
This is a tax deduction from state taxes.
The state will deduct this from your property tax liability, so your property tax will go down by that much. $220 for us because that's what we pay in dues.
So
You
the
can't
tax
have
credit,
an exemption.
Just
Pardon me?
If I have homestead exemption.
Oh, I don't know if homestead is exemption. I know that I have exemptions because I'm a permanent resident. I'm over 70 and a half years old. I have a couple of discounts on mine already. I only pay $200. Penny only pays $200. So,
I'll work with you on that if you want.
well, you know, it's real simple. There's really nothing to work
We
on
take the
because.
membership list and
Well,
just
the members
add
list is
on.
on Excel as it is, just click hide and hide whatever, columns you want, address, phone number, email, notes, and send that off to the county and you're done. It only takes like half an hour.
This passed, so this is in effect.
Oh, yeah. This is,
Yes, I read
and
that.
this guy, he is District 5, which is virtually everything included except the whole estate. Yes.
So it's quite clear that it only applies to the portion of our homeowners association dues which are earmarked for road maintenance.
Well, it's
It
my
doesn't-
understanding,
It doesn't include cutting the lawn, it doesn't include the longhouse, it doesn't include utilities. So when you establish a road maintenance fund and you start to fund it, that's the amount you can claim against this. It isn't our whole 220 that we can claim because it's going to a variety of things other than road maintenance. You have to be very clear about what the buckets of our dues are going to, which is one of the reasons we need to have that budget in place.
Well, Rod, didn't you say that only the road, maintenance and something else comes out of our dues? Or was it you said?
Our assessments are for road maintenance and right of way, and the equipment that used to maintain
The
that,
equipment.
and the office here, which is where the people that take care of that.
Utilities.
It does not necessarily include the pavilion, which is on a separate utility.
So then necessarily it's not the full 220 that we could deduct, but, you know.
That's why we've got to get our budget together and do very clear segmentation of what's earmarked for road repair versus what's earmarked for continuing operating expenses and everything else for the homeowners association. That's the number we can forward to the county.
Well, isn't that in the previous year's budgets, Alan?
So we would need to have a budget that specifies how much of that 220 is for roads. We'd have to create a spreadsheet as the association and submit that to the state. Is that how it works?
Basically.
Well, the association has to submit to the state the names,
The names,
CMK
right.
numbers, and how much each lot pays
Right.
for the road,
Right,
yes.
okay, all right, so.
Right.
yeah,
So
that's
if it's
all
not
right.
220, if it's 175, then that's what you submit
That would be,
per
per
TMK.
lot, as far, I think that'd be per lot, wouldn't it?
Per TMK.
Per TMK, okay.
Per TMK.
Thank you for that research.
Yep.
That's very nice.
And then the other question is, what is inland marine insurance and what does it cover?
Yeah, we had that
What
question,
is
I'm
what?
like, what is marine insurance?
Yeah.
It's what, Brown and Brown calls, and that's,
If you have a tub, that's,
It's what?
it's where I'm.
I'm sorry, I can't hear all of it.
Is that there? It's for the boat you have in the back. I asked that question too the first year, what is the marine insurance? And it's basically, the building.
Rich and I met with them last year, and we questioned that also, because why are we paying marine insurance on this, which is typically around import, export, warehouses down at the docks, those sorts of things. It was the only underwriter they could find to write a policy for the building structures here in Lava Zone 1 in a commercial environment. They were the only underwriter. We went searching multiple insurance companies, we talked to different agents, and that's
But
the
there's
only
another
one.
charge
And it's
on
only
the profit
because
and
we're
loss statement of $1,000-some-odd for property insurance.
I understand what you're saying. This is commercial property, considered to be commercial property, and it was the only underwriter that we could find. We're only with them because we're grandfathered in. They'd like to drop us.
Are you sure that they are licensed by the state and able to insure us? Because what happened during the eruption is a lot of people were paying insurance to insurance companies, and then the insurance companies weren't allowed to be selling insurance in the state to begin with.
yes, that happened.
Yeah, I understand. The insurance broker we go through that holds all 6 of our policies,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
have,
right,
5 or 6, assured us that we are covered under that. But, you know, could they be lying to us? Sure. I mean, I don't know.
It's one insurance
Can
company.
you check with the state insurance, with the state insurance office,
One umbrella.
that they are authorized to write insurance in the state of Hawaii?
Oh, yeah.
And is that the name of the company?
Brown and Brown out of Honolulu.
I'm sorry.
Well, Brown, Brown,
out of
The
Honolulu.
broker is right.
Oh, so it's your broker that sold the insurance?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
About 5 policies.
Yeah, we actually brought a representative into the law house last year and sat her down and went through each and every one of the insurances.
Real confusing.
We ended up canceling the crime insurance and, playing around with some of the other ones.
Thank you for that research.
Yes.
Okay, is that it?
I
Motion to adjourn?
Meeting adjourned?
Second. Second.
8:30.
Adjourned. Thank you.